All right. I think we are streaming. Yes, we are. Okay, so what are we doing tonight? We are going to do, from start to finish, the dual BIOS setup. Let's change this. I'm gonna do. I gotta change the name of the title tonight. All right. So let's see. Let's get this posted. Yeah. Well, let's see if anybody wants to join. Probably looking at about an hour worth of time here. Okay, so let's make sure all of our cameras are working. And of course they're not. Microscope is good. Looks like microscope's good. Man, this happens every fucking live stream. Like, I just can't seem to catch a break here. Do do do. There we go. There's one. Come on. Let's see. Is that two? All right, we're good there. We're good there. How long will it last until it breaks? All right. So we got a Dreamcast here. This is one that's already been modded. It's got an SD card mod. It's got DreamPie, all that other fun stuff. You'll see it as I tear it apart. So let's get into it. Let's see how fast we can do this. This dual BIOS mod helps to have the proper screwdriver. Right. Just yeah. So you got the microscope in the upper right there. Not a whole lot to observe right now. This particular Dreamcast is one of my favorites. It has Retro Dream. It has a region change mod, which we have discovered you don't need a switch for that. I did add one to this just because I already had everything ran for it. So I said, why get rid of it? All right. There's one, there's two. Come on, get out of there. This one also has 12 volt mod, 12 volt fan mod on it, which I highly recommend. All right, there's that one. Okay, and then everything else in here. This one also has a beefier version. of our sorry, all I'm doing off camera here right now is feeding a switch because we're returning this switch back in there that I actually removed, and I did that a while ago because I thought that I would never need it again. And then along came the dual bios. And now this mod I will be selling on my website. I am doing this tutorial though because it was shared with me, so I'm gonna share the rest of the information on how to pull this off with the rest of the community. If you want to make this mod easier for yourself, you can just purchase a kit from me, which will have your 4 megabyte BIOS along with the 10K resistor. So basically, it'll be nice and easy for anybody that can do the soldering to get this up and running. So, just screwing on so that this switch is all in place is really what I'm doing right here. Oh, come on. Okay. So there's a little rubber gasket that I like to have on here that keeps the vibration from rattling this screw loose. And it was actually stopping me. So I had to push the little rubber gasket, or yeah, I guess you could call it a gasket. But yeah, basically there's a little gasket, little rubber piece that gives a little bit of tension onto that particular. Oh, nice. Just discovered we're missing. I tell you, man, I've been doing these mods on many different systems over the years, and the Dreamcast takes the cake as like look at that. Like I don't know if it's like plagued or something, but I I literally there's so many opportunities that all this stupid weird shit happens with Dreamcast modding. I I do not understand. I've done mods for years. I did Xbox 360, used to live stream that, and some reason every time that I do Dreamcast stuff, I always run into some nonsense. Like I am right here. Yeah, somehow one of my wires just magically just broke off, and of course it's going to be a pain in the butt to strip it because of the type of wire. Not what I want to be focusing on right now. There we go. Let's get this patched up real fast. And hopefully it survives just long enough to put it all back together again. Oh, Sorry you can't see this. It's nothing too wild. All it is a quick solder repair and bringing this wire together. All right, so our switch is in place. So now what we can focus on, what I'm really hoping for here is, did I leave any of these connectors? I don't know, doesn't look like it. So let's get to it. Basically need to do a tear down in order to get at the bottom of this. So our Dream Pi, this is my little setup that I put together, nice and compact. Maybe if there's interest, I'll start selling those or something. I don't know. Not super interested in selling tons of items, but if there's interest, if the community goes, yeah, we would love to have that, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll start selling kits of all sorts of Dreamcast crap. Maybe I can get a partnership with Retro 6 or something. I don't know. Retro 6, if you're out there, hit me up. I have recovered every single error with the Dreamcast at this point. From bad DACs to bad ICAs. And that right there is my 2 terabyte drive. Just making sure, is anybody out there? I'm not really watching chat right now, so if you're lighting me up in chat, you'd be better off pinging me in Discord than anything. All right, so this power supply right here is your Pico power supply. I did modify mine so that it has, like, I just unplugged my fan so that I don't have to worry about removing that. Everything that I do, I really do like breakaway stuff because of maintenance. Apparently when you get into mods, you modify everything. All right. Yeah, just a couple more screws here. This one does have the upgraded battery. This one, did I take it off? Yeah. Although I did mess around with Blue Retro and I found USB 4 Maple is actually the route that you should go. So if you wanted my opinion on it, just get some maples. Those, on the other hand, are something that I've been looking into selling. So if there's more community that wants that, I'm happy to supply that. Got to thank Megavolt 85. Without him, really none of this would be happening. All right. Getting down to the bottom of this. All right, whenever you work on this stuff, make sure that you don't have anything underneath hanging out. I've been bit before by shorting something out that was just hanging out underneath. The curse of the Dreamcast. All right. Now, whoops. One extra here. This one does have the HDMI mod done to it. It is not my favorite HDMI mod, but it does work. Oh boy. This has apparently there's gremlins all over the place because I just noticed something. I don't think the camera picked it up. Oh boy. I was not expecting this to happen. There it goes. Okay, this one I've added some very special copper plates. So what are those? This is a good teardown. So these are what are on the heatsink itself. This has been a very good setup as far as heat transfer goes. You saw it right there. It was very, very, very sealed to the GPU and to the CPU. That I would say is, if you need a cooling mod, I would definitely go that route. All right, so here we are. We're getting down to the insides here. Okay. Wow. All right, so that sucks. Not sure how that happened, but my 12-volt mod for my region change actually came off, which is very interesting. Get this on. So what I'm gonna look at right now real quick is this chip right here. So let's zoom in. We call it the flash. All right, what I'm looking for on that very specifically, I'm gonna have to zoom in here. So this is an old trick. Just get a little bit of alcohol on the top of it. So that I can read it a little bit easier. And that is not fucking working at all, is it? I'm just trying to zoom in on this. So this is the flash, and it's typically locked. And I have new flashes to replace it. Man, I cannot read that at all. Why am I getting so much glare as well? So what I'm looking for on this is I'm really trying to see if it's a 02 or an 04. This is the chip that that contains like your region and everything like that, and you do the man. I am struggling here to get this thing to play nice. Sorry, everyone. But that is not. Yeah, I can't fucking read that at all. Nobody can read that. That's not what my goal was right there. All I want to do is read that chip. And are all the markings just rubbed off? Oh, O2. Okay, so the chips that I have, they're O4, and they're unlocked. And the whole reason why you do the region change mod is to unlock that chip so that you can program it. I found so that this one hasn't been done. I kind of want to swap it out at the same time of doing the rest of these mods. Man, oh man, I'm making more work than I thought that I was going to with this particular board. And I guess that's just how it's going to be tonight. That is just how it's going to be. How peculiar, though. Like, there's certain things that don't make any sense. I'm going to put my region change mod back on there. I need to take a photo of this. Man, oh man. Sorry, everyone. This is supposed to be a tutorial on 4 megabyte BIOS, not about this modification. All right. In order to get at this, though, in order for me to use it, I gotta remove a bunch of this shit. So this is where I really wish I would have listened to my previous self and made this all on a connector. And since I'm removing this, I am going to, because we're going to use Dream Shell, the newest one, which is 4.02. And that will give us a SD card upgrade, meaning Mr. Megavolt 85, he wrote a driver that allows that SD card to be twice as fast. All right. Come on. Get off of there. Okay. It is free. So yeah, when we wire this back up, I will use the new SD card points. I don't get is this entire setup hasn't moved, so it's really odd to see certain problems, such as broken wires and things like that. Like Literally, this thing sat on a shelf behind me. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. We got a little bit of modification to do. All right, we're gonna have this here. Go through the. All right, what was this? This is my 10K resistor that I'm gonna need. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. Microscope. I wish you had voice chats so somebody could be like, "Hey, you're fucking zoomed in. What are you doing?" Oh, which camera did we lose? Fucking bullshit. All right, we're back. There we go. All right, sorry folks, I cannot see the chat, so yeah, like I said, if you are in any of the discords, just ping me with an @ alternating, and yeah, we'll get there. Dun dun dun. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, that's my old school LCD, by the way. That's why I have it. It's got composite, it's got component, it's got VGA, it's got HDMI, it's got what is it? Coaxial. Basically got all the things that a retro gamer would need in order to play all their consoles. Okay, what am I looking for right now? I am looking quickly for a man. I had this stuff all squared away. Apparently I didn't. My heat shrink. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, viewers, if anybody's on there. I'm trying to move quickly here and I'm failing. All right, I got my my heat shrink here. Just gonna grab some, and you'll see where that comes into play in just a second, because we're gonna hop on over to this screen here. All right, what are we doing here? So here's our programmer. This uses the T76. This is what you need in order to program these 4 megabyte chips. I'm going to go through the process here. There's 2 ways to do this. Some reason this doesn't work on my computer right now. It worked once. Basically, here's the command. Copy BIOS 1 plus BIOS 2, and then you rename it. So like both bios.bin / uppercase B. Now that didn't work for me, so I actually hopped over into Linux, and I'll go through it right here. This is my Linux server. I put everything out there. If I do an ls, here's my 2 BIOS, and then what I'm going to type, let's see here, the commands. It's going to be cat, and then this one's going to be bootloaders. And then what's our second one? Dreamboot. And that's going to be BIOS. And then I'm going to rename it so it's going to be like, I don't know, BL underscore loader dev bootloader dev um, kit no GD ROM dash dream boot underscore no GD ROM dot bin. All right, what does that create? Right here, our BL dev kit, and then from there, I'm going to download it. So I use something called WinSCP. WinSCP, there's the BIOS that I'm going to be loading. So let's put that into my folder here. So all I did was drag and drop it into my 4 megabyte BIOS project combined folder. You do it however you feel fit. All right. Now what we're going to do is in the T76, you need to find, this is a PSOP 44. So MX29L32. So that's going to be right on the front of the chip. The full name is MX29L3211MC. Make sure that you have that. Again, only the T76 is able to actually program this. Once you select it, from here, we're going to go to load. And we'll go browse. And we're going to find our kit that we just made here, BL dev kit. Hit open, leave all the defaults, hit OK, and you can see it's going to load up your Sega Katana, and then if you scroll down, you'll see it again. It's on there twice. Anyways, let's go ahead and program this. We're going to leave all the defaults here, hit program. Oh, we got to plug in our programmer. That helps. And turn it on. You can't see this, but it's... I'll bring the chip over so that you get an idea. All right, hit program. Nice, got the programming done in one shot. Sometimes this actually, lining the pins up and everything can kind of be a pain in the butt. So you just wait until this completes its programming. It's not the fastest in the world, as you can see. Let's go. It's actually, this might be a two-part series because I don't know how much. I'll probably get the chip removed. I don't know. We'll see how far we get tonight. It's already getting kind of late. All right, verify. Look at that. All right, we're good. We're done on this part of the computer. So what does this all look like? What does this all look like? All right, let's stretch this out. All right, this is a USB-C programmer. The T76 by X Geku or Geku. Pretty sweet. I really like these programmers. So if you're in the market, I recommend these. They're a little pricey. Take a long time to get shipped. Here's our chip that we just programmed. And to pull it out, push down, and there it is. All right. Now, one thing that I learned with all this is we could put this this resistor on ahead of time. I typically will just set it up like this. And wrap our heat shrink around it. Make sure that we can still reach. Yeah, this is not doing it justice. Let me get this on the microscope. There we go. Now you can see it. So this particular one, um, kind of, and this is hard to do. So with that, get some heat. So all I'm doing right now is just heat shrinking this. All right. So that's prepped. And probably attach that. Okay. This is going to be very anticlimactic here for a little bit. There's our old retro dream mod. All right, first things first, let's get rid of some of these wires. I'm just tinning my soldering iron. I had an unfortunate scenario where I actually dropped a small thing of solder during the desoldering process of one of these chips, and man, was it annoying, you guys. Oh man, I don't know if I'll be able to pull this through, but I got it. Yeah, this one was tucked in there fairly well. Okay. So this part is going to be a little bit difficult to watch, just because you can't really see what I'm doing. I've tried a lot of different ways to. Maybe we'll try that. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, maybe you can see it there. Really, all we're doing is we're going to be removing this BIOS chip here. I want to pay close attention to what I'm doing. And this isn't a crazy fast process. Take your time. I'm just making circles over the BIOS chip. 625 is my heat. You know, you're going to have to look at whatever hot air that you have. You can see the flux bubbling. It's good. Is this flowing? The hardest part is to actually lift this chip when I do this technique. This is where most of the YouTubers will fast forward. This is it in real time. So every time I stop like that, I'm actually checking to see if the solder's flowing enough yet where I can lift the chip. I try to be very careful about this process. Should be almost ready. Again, try not to rush it. It'll go when it's ready. Just want to be mindful. It's almost there. It just moved a little bit. I don't know if anybody caught that. This one's being extra. There we go. That's still a good chip. So what I do is I actually put it onto a heatsink, because it's still a good chip. I'm hoping I didn't mess with the pins too much. It should be all right. All right, next step I'm going to do is this mod's getting near the end here. So I'm adding some more flux, because what I'm about to do is I'm going to clean up these pads so that it's easier for me to desolder. Always add flux. It will make your life easier. All right, where is my braid? We're going to do this the old school way. A little bit of braid. And my soldering iron. Going to clean it up, tin it up. So put some fresh solder on there. And let's see here. We'll get that all lined up so you guys can watch. So I'm going to get it nice and hot. Something that right. I want to be extra careful here when you do this process with the braid like this, because if you move too quick or you apply too much heat, you can actually pull the pads up, or you can mess with the solder mask, which I'm finding that I don't know if there's some old solder on there, but it's almost like it's not melting. And it's kind of grippy in a way. I don't know how else to explain it, but there you have it. Yeah, there's just something odd. I'm gonna retin here. Now there is another technique using some hot tweezers. I do like that technique because you basically just brush, and it's very kind, I guess is the best way I could put it, to your pads, because you just kind of go by it real fast and just brush, and the solder just comes right off. So it's one of my favorite techniques. All right, we need the small wire. So I'm just going to there's a little dot there that I'm retinning. I kind of want to remove this chip. Kind of want to remove it, because once I remove it and reprogram it, it actually removes the lock that's applied to it. But let's just keep moving forward. We're almost done with this mod. Yeah, see, I knew that there was something going on with that solder when I was moving it. So I could get away with quite a bit more here, but I'm a stickler, me seeks, as they say. Is that good enough? I think that's good. I'm just looking at the screen myself right now. Yeah, that looks pretty lined up. I think that'll do. What do you think, everyone? Think that'll do? I think that'll do. I don't know why I'm grabbing at that one. So... All right. Get our old chip out of the way there. And I do like to use a microscope when I do my soldering on these chips. So what sucks is my normal setup, I would have a, a screen much closer than what I have right now. My screen is actually over to my right, which you can't really see just because I don't have a room camera kind of set up. And what's really odd, come on, stop shaking, making me sick. Ooh, the delay. That delay. USB. Oh man, everyone. I do not like that. All right, we're gonna give that a little brushing of some flux. I don't know if I like this right now. That delay is it's a little intense. Holy smokes. I would have never expected that to be that delayed. Wow, that is almost unusable as far as my preference. Wow, is that horrible? I don't even know how else to describe this right now. I mean, it's on there. I hmm, whatever. We'll keep moving forward. Can't dwell on it. We're almost done. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not a fan of using USB for this particular part of it. When I say USB, what I'm saying is I got the video over USB so that I can show everybody what I'm doing, and it definitely impedes my ability. some of those joints, I'm just, I should trust it, but I really don't. I really, really don't. All right. Now I'm adding my 10K resistor. I do a little bit of tinning on the resistor itself, so that when I do go to attach it, it's a little bit easier. So how I do this is why I said, like, you could do this ahead of time on the chip. You don't need to wait, I guess. People have some different techniques on doing this. This is just the way that I do it. You can do it however you like. I will not judge you much. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Come on. Oh, it's gonna be a bitch like that. I wanna be a bitch like that. Oh, come on. Ah, man. All right, my iron is not playing friendly with me. Some reason I'm getting this weird oxidation very, very quickly. we go. Now there's one more that needs to be done. Oh man. I'm sorry, everyone. There you go. Could clean it up a little bit more, but good enough. It's just a little dirty from the flux. All right. So next on the list here is one more wire. Man, oh man, come on. One more wire. I'm gonna have to zoom out. Yeah, this is gonna be a two-parter because I gotta put a connector in place. So this is a little bit different of wiring than what a lot of people are used to. Let's see here. Do, do, do. Doing this with my left hand. Oh man, that has got to go. I will not be doing that going forward. We will be that microscope. There's way too much fucking delay. All right, I'm just stripping a wire right now. That delay is. Oh, did we lose? Yeah, no, we didn't. One camera decided to cut out. I'm not sure which one. I'm not really worried about it because the one that I want is still there. Okay, all right. I'm just prepping, just prepping. I want the smallest little nub for that little tiny point. That most people utilize. Some people don't like that one. I don't know if I like that. Whatever. We're going to go for it. So, pin 9. You'll see. All right, let me see if I can tin that little teeny tiny bit. Let's see if we can get that in one shot. I think we got it. All right, there's your wiring. Could this be a little cleaner? Sure. That's that. That is our dual BIOS right there. Programmed, installed. The only thing left at this point is going to be, man, oh man. I was really hoping that I saved my wires from my previous setup here. Okay. So what am I fucking with? All right, we need to get the other camera back. 'Cause there's a little bit more to do. Yeah, look at that. Sorry, everyone. I want to make sure y'all can see. Okay, I got a couple of connectors here. What are these connectors? All right, I wanted to save these because our button, remember, it had some connectors on it. And those connectors directly relate to power and also the switch that we need to put into place in order to actually switch between the two BIOS. So I am prepping that up right now. I'm laughing because I'm missing something. I'm really not wanting to remake it. It's actually just a plug for the for everything to plug into, so it's nice and clean. But it's apparently I didn't save everything. Right. So I'm going to just cut this. That's one. I will at least have the majority of this done, because there's only two more things to do on the board right here. So just stripping some wire, and then we'll tin this, and then we'll put it in place, and this will be our main switch, on off. Basically how it works is it just grounds one of the pins, and that causes it to switch between the read points. At least this is how I understand it. Maybe if somebody else sees this, they'll tell me otherwise. Be like, no, Alter, you're wrong. But it sounds to me like that's how it works, because when you write to it, you are literally just making a new bin file that just lines up the BIOS one after another. So I'm just trimming the wire right now so that I got little nubs that are tinned. And now we're going to put these in place. Now there's 2 points. Let me see if I can get the camera on it. So here's the first point that I'm going to go after. Just going to throw a little bit of the good juice on there, aka flux. And this is kind of the pathway that I'm going to take. there's a lot of humidity in the air right now because getting some weirdness. All right, here's a little dabble do. And holy smokes. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes, oh man, oh man. Sometimes karma or whatever you want to fucking call it works in your favor. Tonight, I think that's my ground pin right there, to be honest, because it just didn't play nice. That's the best way I can put that. All right, so this is kind of how I envision this. Sorry, you can't really see what I'm doing, but it'll all make sense momentarily. All right, there we have it. Reason why I wanted to route it this way out is because remember our button is going to be right here. The camera's not really picking it up. But remember on the lid, the button is right here. So I wanted to make sure that we can tuck this underneath and over, or if I need to, I can come like this. Just wanted to have enough wire for that switch. The only thing that's left is really power. I wanted to look at this though. Remember the gremlins I've been having? I really want to remove this really bad and put my region unlocked flash on there so that you can just write to it however you feel fit. Okay, what's left? The only thing really left for this particular one is going to be, well, obviously the switch. Yeah, we got the switch and the power. So I need to get 12 volts into that power, that switch, just to light it up, just for aesthetic reasons. But something popped into my head while I was speaking there, and best thing to do is, sometimes you gotta check your connections. I don't know if this is dirty or what, but did not hear what I want to hear. All right, that one's good. All right, this is my ground. Yeah, this is my ground right here. So that's our ground. This goes to pin 1. I'm just making sure there's no shorts. Again, these Dreamcasts, I swear to God, they're like jinxed. All right, there it is. Next step will be reassembly, and we'll do that on another live stream. But yeah, want to learn about it? Join Sega Outcasts.